So as y'all obviously know, because y'all are the viewer, my channel fell off when I stopped doing the Is Trash videos and went to the gameplay videos, which was a temporary error in this channel. But obviously YouTube wants you to remake similar content, and obviously Is Trash and gameplay content isn't similar, so YouTube stopped recommending my videos and I started getting less views. Plus those videos were objectively more boring because, you know, my audience wants to hear me commentate and not play games, and gameplay can be boring, but you gotta sit and cut out the bad parts of the gameplay, such as deaths or such as grinding and stuff like that. And obviously that's bad, but that's boring for people to watch. And plus, if you're bad at a game, even if your content's not boring to watch and you're good at commentating while playing, you know, that's good. But the other half is gameplay, and people want to watch you play games so they can know how to get better. And they're only going to watch half the video, which is the commentary, not the gameplay. Because if you're dying in the game or too many deaths, people aren't gaining any utility from watching your video, which is why I went from riches to rags, and now I'm gonna go back to riches with these anime videos. But the gameplay videos were temporary because the only games I actually like are my top 4 games, and that's a video for a whole nother time, which means I don't have enough games I play to make a complete gameplay channel, because that requires you play a lot of games or one game a lot of times. But now I'm gonna state the 3 rules in this video and in my Is Trash videos for me to state if something or anything is trash. And I'm specifically talking about characters in this video, similar to my Itachi video. And I talked about Danzo in my Itachi video and why I thought Danzo was trash too, even though the video is why Itachi was trash. And the first rule for a character to be trash is that, one, I cannot like, that's one. The second rule is that they have to be objectively badly written. As an example, Sasuke is one of my favorite characters from Naruto, but he's based off Hiei, who is one of my favorite characters from Yu Yu Hakusho. My favorite character, #1 favorite, in front of Toguro, my second favorite Yu Yu Hakusho character. Both characters are well written, but Hiei has the better design. And Sasuke is based off Hiei, and I want to see Sasuke get stronger because he's one of my favorite characters in Naruto. And Itachi is basically a benchmark or a goalpost for Sasuke because he's Sasuke's evil brother. On top of that, he's stronger than Sasuke, and there's an evil version of him. And I love evil versions of good characters. My profile pick is Obito. And all retcons aren't bad. Like Goku being a Saiyan is a good retcon, but during the Red Ribbon saga of OG Dragon Ball, the android Major Metaltron said is Goku an alien, and numerous characters said Goku isn't human because of how strong he is. That didn't mean he wasn't human, that meant he had the power of somebody who's not a human. But Goku beat Piccolo, and it's hinted from Piccolo and Kami speaking alien language, they're not human. Which we knew they weren't human because Piccolo is a demon and Kami is a god. Kami literally means god in Japanese, but they were speaking alien language, so it was hinted that they weren't human, as in alien, not gods or demons when I say not human. So as examples, or the examples I just stated with Goku and Piccolo, all retcons aren't bad if they're hinted. But the problem with the Itachi being a good guy retcon is that it's hinted that Itachi's a good guy, and it's hinted Itachi is a bad guy numerous times. It's hinted specifically he's a bad guy when he put Sasuke in Tsukiyomi, but it's hinted he's a good guy when he runs away from Jiraiya, even though he's stronger than him. So Kishimoto was confused on what the plot twist with Itachi should or shouldn't be, which is why I don't like Itachi, because the plot twist of his character is a plot hole and not a retcon, even though it started as a retcon. And as an example, Danzo is an excellent written character. He's a corrupt politician, serial unaliver, and racist, which obviously Naruto is a show that's made for age groups 12 to 19. People who are preteens, teens, and young adults, and a good lesson for preteens, teens, and young adults who are either in school or college, where you learn is to learn extra from their hobby, reading, watching, or playing Naruto, which is that people like Danzo exist in the real world. Danzo's a well-written character, but he's a bad person, which is why I don't like Danzo as a character. Now that I've stated the first two rules, is the character likable to me, in my opinion, and is the character objectively written good? The third rule for a character to not be trash that they have to cross out is to be likable and objectively written, which makes them one of most people's favorite characters, my favorite characters or character, or a good character objectively. So my opinion on Tobirama, is he a likable character? No, in part 1, because I didn't like how Tobirama looked in part 1's art style, and I liked how Hashirama looked in part 1's art style. But when the creator changed his art style in part 2, it was the opposite. So yes and no. But Tobirama's drip was always more fly, because Tobirama had the fur hood on his ninja armor, where Hashirama's ninja armor, I like the color red more than blue. So I like Tobirama and Hashirama's outfits equally. But in part 2, I felt like Hashirama with Sage Mode was a bit over designed, because Hashirama's Sage Mode doesn't look like the animal he got the Sage Mode from. And obviously, in order to get Sage Mode, you have to get it from an animal or by stealing somebody else with Sage Mode's DNA. And I don't like the fact Hashirama's Sage Mode didn't look like any animal that it came from, but we don't know what that animal looked like though. Now, I don't like Danzo because he's racist, because he's envious of the Uchiha, such as his Uchiha teammate who was Shisui's grandfather, to the point he did the Uchiha massacre to eliminate Shisui and his grandfather. Plus, Danzo was jealous of Hiruzen, but Hiruzen was picked to be third Hokage by Tobirama, who was Danzo, Hiruzen, the Konoha elders, who I believe are married, even though nobody says they are on YouTube, and Shisui's grandfather's team leader and teacher. And the reason why I say Danzo's illegally corrupt, because he staged multiple assassination attempts on politicians or people who work for politicians in the Naruto world, because majority of politicians in the Naruto world are legally corrupt, because majority of Naruto politicians, such as the third Hokage, instigated the second and the third ninja world wars, legally that is. Even though I hate Tobirama for being racist, I kind of like Tobirama for being racist, because it adds world building, like Danzo being racist, except Tobirama is not envious of the Uchihas, because his literal moveset, Tobirama invented the technique Flying Raijin, which translates to Flying Thunder God in English, because Raijin and Thunder God essentially mean the same thing. Raijin or Raiden is the Japanese religion's Thunder God. In order to teleport, in order to counter the Uchiha's Genjutsu, because if the Uchihas look at you while releasing chakra from their body, they can put you in a gen to instantly defeat you. Except while the Uchiha is looking at you, it takes them a couple seconds to release chakra from their body in order to do the genjutsu. So the Flying Raijin teleports you while the Uchiha is releasing chakra from their body before they can do the genjutsu, which means while the Uchiha is looking at you, specifically attempting to look into your eyes, because in order for them to use the Sharingan's genjutsu, they have to look into your eyes, which are gone because you vanished into an alternate dimension where the Uchiha isn't at. And before you vanished into a whole nother dimension where the Uchiha wasn't at, you threw your weapon at the Uchiha, which has the Flying Raijin marker, and then you teleport at the Flying Raijin marker, which is your weapon. And obviously the Uchiha is out of chakra, because they used up all their chakra to do the genjutsu, which means you can just stab the Uchiha. The second part of Tobirama's jutsu is water style. And if Tobirama's part of the Senju clan, y'all are probably wondering how can he use water style? Because the Senju are from the land of fire, and majority of people from the land of fire can use fire style, and they can't use fire style's weakness, water style. But Tobirama is of the Senju clan, which is why his last name is Senju, and the meaning of the last name Senju means 1,000 skills, which hints at the fact the Senju clan's special ability is that they are able to specialize in one or multiple skills that most people don't specialize in. Whereas most clans like the Uchiha, for example, only specialize in the Sharingan or the Sharingan's abilities such as Genjutsu and Fire Style, which is why Tobirama can use Water Style, which can counter the Uchiha's Fire Style. So Tobirama's not racist towards the Uchiha, but he's jealous of them. The real reason he's racist is because during the Warring States period, ninjas were basically mercenary for hire, basically a PMC's assassins or spies. And multiple greedy companies would hire ninjas or ninjas who are part of ninja clans like the Uchiha and the Senju to guard their respective companies. But the problem with this is these companies would hire the Uchiha and Senju to sabotage the other companies without them knowing, and that led to the Warring States period. So basically companies greed. And this led to a group of adult Uchiha being hired to guard the respective company who hired them or sabotage companies that are guarded by the Senju. And one of these Senjus happened to be a kid, two kids who were Hashirama and Tobirama's little brother. These adult Uchiha unalive multiple Senju kids, such as Hashirama and Tobirama's two brothers, and multiple adult Senju unalive multiple Uchiha children, such as Madara Uchiha's two little brothers, which is why Tobirama became racist towards Uchiha and invented his moveset to unalive Madara's little brother, Izuna, who was the last of Madara's three little brothers, Uchiha children, such as. So Tobirama being racist towards Uchiha isn't a problem, as the Uchiha and Senju were equally racist towards each other, so an eye for an eye, I guess. Except the reason why Tobirama took being racist way too far more than the Uchiha is because Hashirama became the first Hokage after the Senju and Uchiha peace treaty. Except when Hashirama died, he most likely did not prepare Tobirama to become second Hokage, which, you know, Hashirama would have wanted the second Hokage to not be racist towards Uchiha, and Tobirama made Hiruzen the third Hokage, and after Hiruzen and Minato, the fourth Hokage's deaths, and Tsunade, the fifth Hokage, was injured, Danzo, due to the fact he was a part of Team Tobirama, and Hiruzen made Danzo a politician due to him and Danzo being friends, and Danzo being elderly, which meant he was experienced at doing bad things, not good things, like a lot of elders. The Fire Daimyo, who's basically the president of the Land of Fire, and obviously who leads the Hokage, which is the governor or mayor of the Leaf Village, which is a city-state, temporarily promoted Danzo to 5th or 6th Hokage before Danzo was unalive. So Tobirama indirectly caused the Uchiha massacre, even though it wasn't his intention, was because Tobirama stopped being racist, even though he had racist tendencies, by saying Shisui's grandfather was one of the good Uchihas and wanting to keep the Uchiha alive because they were useful assets to the Leaf Village, due to the fact the Uchihas were prodigies as their rivals to the Senjus, who were prodigies. I was being partway sarcastic when I said that Tobirama is racist, specifically partway racist when it's convenient for him, because Tobirama feared the Uchiha. He literally said he believed all Uchiha could become evil because the Uchiha Sharingan gets more powerful with more hatred they feel, which the more hatred the Uchiha feels because they are losing loved ones. So they feel hatred for the being or thing that took away their love, which is the first reason why Tobirama was glad that Itachi and Danzo and Obito did the Uchiha massacre, but he was also glad because Tobirama didn't want the Uchiha to stage a coup because that would destroy the village, and obviously Tobirama is a utilitarian, which people could say he's a bad person for, but Hashirama is worse because Hashirama said he was a utilitarian, and he said he would unalive his own child if they chose their family before the village. And the sympathetic reason why Hashirama and Tobirama are utilitarians / sociopaths, which makes them bad people, as a sociopath is a person who will kill people who aren't their family or friends, and utilitarians aren't necessarily bad people. They're morally great people because they would choose to do a bad thing for a greater good, like letting a good person die by dumping their body after killing them to prevent spreading a disease that that person has, in order to make sure their body's dead so they can't walk around other people and dumping their body so it's away from other people after they die. So Hashirama's a sociopath too, and a bad person too, except Hashirama's not a racist. Danzo's a racist in the fact that he believes that every other group of people are superior to the Uchiha. So Danzo is basically a supremacist, where he basically believes one group is born better than another due to the fact they have different / better DNA in their opinion, where Tobirama's a systemic racist, where he fears the fact his race / group may have to suffer, so he'll make other groups of people, even if they're innocent, suffer. And just because Tobirama is a better person than Danzo was, he's systemically racist, opposed to Danzo being a supremacist racist, does not make Tobirama a good person at all. And again, I dislike Tobirama for being a racist, whether he's a temporary opposed to a full-time racist. So I think Tobirama's trash because he's racist, but at the same time I think he's S tier because he invented multiple forbidden jutsu, such as Flying Raijin, which is one of the signature techniques of one of my top 3 Naruto characters, Minato's moveset. And Tobirama's an objectively well-written character because he's an example of a systemic racist, which is great world building for a series targeted at preteens, teens, and young adults. But the fact that he's an objectively smart character, and he's a character that builds the world building of the Naruto series, the main reason why I don't like him is because of his moveset, which is underwhelming because in part 1, Tobirama only used water style because he was born with the ability to use water style, like his brother Hashirama, who uses wood style, which is a mix of water and earth style. And the problem with that, Tobirama's constantly overshadowed by his older brother Hashirama's wood style is the second coolest looking element behind light, which lightning's most people's favorite element in Naruto. Most people's favorites are either wood, ice, or lightning. I like fire because I like the color red, but it's basically just ki blast spam, unless you're a Madara whose fire style can evaporate multiple water jutsus at once, or you can combine fire style with Kamui like Obito, or you have Blaze Release / Amaterasu, which is exclusive to Itachi and Sasuke's MS. So water style basically is useless because Madara's fire style can evaporate water. Obito's Kamui makes things intangible by teleporting parts of those things or the whole thing into the Kamui dimension and back to the regular dimension, such as Obito's fire style that he combines with Kamui, making it a ball of fire you literally can't destroy because half of it's intangible, so you don't know which part to destroy, or all of it's intangible until it hits you as it flies. And Itachi and Sasuke's Blaze Release / Amaterasu, which literally is a fire that doesn't stop burning, so that automatically makes water style a useless element to anybody with MS ability, whether they're an Uchiha or a non-Uchiha who have an MS implanted like Kakashi or Don, or they have high skill with fire style, whether they're an Uchiha or not. So even if you're from the land of fire, you can counter water style by training your fire style or finding a Sharingan, which most likely is from the land of fire because they're from the Uchiha, which is from the land of fire. On top of that, Kakashi and Itachi use the Sharingan's copy ability to copy water style from the Seven Swordsmen of the Mist Village, which is in the land of water. So even if you don't have an MS to make your fire style invincible or intangible. You can just use the Sharingan's copy ability to copy water style from a Land of Water ninja, or a Land of Fire ninja can use water style like Tobirama. As a contingency plan, Tobirama invents the Edo Tensei, which allows you to raise the undead or control the undead if you weaken their power before you awaken. And the undead can regenerate, which allows Tobirama to stick tandem paper bombs to the Edo Tensei, which are the unalive people summoned by the Edo Tensei. So he can tell the Edo Tensei to basically kamikaze themselves / suicide bomb themselves by running at you like the Arabs in the Iraq War. And I got Arab friends, so the joke is okay. Except the problem with this is that in order for you to do the Edo Tensei, you have to unalive somebody or use unalive bodies as sacrifices, which means you basically gotta grave it, which is sus, and make it you bodied by a stronger ninja. On top of that, you gotta buy and make paper bombs, and obviously the point of this jutsu is to literally use the tandem paper bombs an infinite amount of times to create a stronger version of fire in case the water style's evaporated, except you need a supply of corpses in tandem paper bomb, or materials to make tandem paper bombs, or skills to make tandem paper bombs to use it. So this jutsu is literally a waste of time. On top of that, the student of Tobirama's student, Orochimaru, perfected Edo Tensei, and Orochimaru's student, Kabuto, perfected Edo Tensei, to the point Orochimaru was literally controlling Tobirama's corpse. On top of that, Orochimaru perfected tandem paper bomb. So that's extra disrespectful. The dude who created Edo Tensei and tandem paper bomb literally has his corpse turned into an Edo Tensei with tandem paper bombs attached while he regenerates. On top of that, Minato perfected Flying Raijin, because unlike Tobirama's Flying Raijin, which can put markers on surfaces or weapons which Tobirama can teleport back to in case he needs to evade an attack or do a sneak attack, Minato can literally place multiple Flying Raijin markers next to each other in a pattern and connect the dots with them to create a portal which can teleport Biju bombs, which are giant black holes / bombs, which are able to destroy forests. And some cities are literally inside of forests. Some countries are inside of forests. That's embarrassing because Tobirama died 30 to 40 years before Minato was born. On top of it, when Tobirama created the Flying Raijin Jutsu, he was either in his mid to late 20s or 30s, and Minato perfected Flying Raijin at like 12 to 16, and he went on to improve it right before he died at 19. That's embarrassing. Next, we get to the multi-shadow clone jutsu, which is the signature technique of the main character, if you can believe it, Datai Baiyo. Obviously, Naruto's mother's Uzumaki, and Naruto's mother's a half Uzumaki. And the Senju and Uzumaki are basically like related due to the fact they're a similar race. They're not necessarily family. So the Senju are like Asians. Basically, Uzumaki's what happens when an Asian and a white person has a kid, basically. So it does make sense, since Naruto and Tobirama are distantly related, that Naruto would probably have the potential to master one of his jutsu naturally. It's definitely true, because some Senju do have a lot of chakra, but the Uzumaki, majority of them have a lot of chakra. Like Naruto, as an example, is just in half Uzumaki. Even Naruto's kids do, and they're 1/4 Uzumaki. And the multi-shadow clone jutsu requires a lot of chakra, but as you're dividing your chakra into multiple clones, and the more chakra you have, the more clones you can create. Even though the clones are weaker, they serve as distractions, and the clones can be stronger than majority of people if the user is stronger than majority of people. Except the problem with this, Naruto learned the multi-shadow clone jutsu when he was 12, and Naruto, with the help of Kakashi, but mainly himself, mastered the Shadow Clone Jutsu at like 14 to 16, and Tobirama was most likely the same age when he created majority of his jutsu. And the reason why Tobirama is trash is because every single move he does can either be countered a dead or an alive character who was born after Tobirama mastered / perfected Tobirama's moves when they were younger than the age Tobirama created the technique.